Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing another video, a how-to video, something I haven't actually ever done, and I've wanted to for a while, because instead of just answering you guys' questions in the comments, I figured I'd make a video so you could watch it. It's a little more fun than reading, in my opinion. A question that I get every time I do a video of a model that I customize or improve, which usually leads to cylinders, how I fix cylinders or something like that. And this is a perfect model. This is the first model that I actually did that on, and it was on the stick. And this is the Caterpillar 374D LME. Um, so what people want to know, a few questions I've gotten, was how do you know exactly how long the piston rod here? Oh, gotta get a better. You know, 1 second. I'm gonna try to get a little raise up here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get it on somewhat of an angle. So, oh, all right, whatever. Doesn't work. All right. So basically, people want to know exactly how do I know how to fix this piston rod? If it would focus on instead of the white paper. Come on, today. There we go. So basically, people want to know exactly how do I know how long this is? And an easy way to do that is the only way to fix this, you have to drill at least one pin. And I do the one that the piston rod attaches to the stick or the bucket linkage or whatever cylinders you're fixing. Take out the piece where the end of the piston attaches to. It's probably the easiest one to fix, or easiest one to take out and then replace, because it's not something that's constantly being moved or pulled, I should say. So you pull this entirely out, and then what you do is I take the entire piston rod out. I glued my pin back in, and I do not want to take it back out just for this video, but I'm going to explain it as best I can. So you take this out, and basically what you do is you kind of line it up straight. You pull it all the way out, and then you put the end of the piston rod to the end of the cylinder casing or whatever it's called, just enough, and then you see how far the end of the piston rod goes out or behind the or how much longer it is than the casing. And that's usually how I determine about how much I'm going to cut off. And then what I do is I'll try to pull in the stick as far as it can possibly go, um, and I also try to see how much left I have in the cylinder, because I don't want to cut off too much to where if I pull it in and then boom, it pops out at a certain distance. That's something I definitely don't want to do. And that's something you have to think about when you're doing this fix. Now, there isn't a whole lot of models that this problem occurs on, but it does happen every once in a while. Even the CCM 385C L or whatever, that bucket cylinder was a little too long, and it restricted the bucket from full range of movement. That's one I did fix, and it comes across on very few models, but it does happen. And if it's something to fix, because it definitely improves the model extremely, much more. It gives it a full range of movement, which you want. Now, the 374 was definitely a model that had those few problems. The stick cylinder would go out to probably about, I'm gonna guess it was over a year ago. I bought it in January of 2011. This model, I believe, came out, and that's when I did the fix, or a few months after that. But that's about how far it would go out when you bought the model. Now, I don't know if they revised that since, but the original one I bought, probably one of the first few that ever was produced. The second it came out, I saw it come out. I had $109 saved, and I bought it. I know the price is up to like 120 now, but when I bought it was about $109. Came to like 118 with shipping, but that's not bad for it. Otherwise, so that was how far the stick went out or so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was probably about the distance it went out. The actual boom cylinders only went down, I'm going to say about that far, actually. That was it. That was your dig depth right there. Maybe, no, I'm saying probably about there was your dig depth. Now, with the cylinders fixed, that's your dig depth. Not 100%, but it's improved compared to what it was. And for an LME machine, it's not all about depth; it's more about power. That's the point of the ME stick and boom. It's all about the power. You're usually digging more heavy material, from rocks to mud to just a lot of more dirt moving, obviously. So I wasn't going for the depth, but I did want to make it more realistic to what it was. I mean, I am still. If you're up on a ledge, you're digging down rock or in a quarry or material or something like that. You want to be able to have some sort of reach on it, and that was something I wanted, so I improved it. For that, I pulled out this pin here, and that came right out in both cylinders. I pulled the pistons out and did the same measuring technique, and I used a Dremel with a grinding head and cut them off, and it worked out fine. Um, the one model that I did run into a problem with doing this, I also did it on the John Deere 470 for the stick. I fixed that to a fair amount, and it works nice now. And you saw that in my review. I actually fixed it the day I got it, and then in the review it was fixed, and I'm pretty sure I explained that there. But same way you do it. Plot the piston, take out the pin, pull out the piston, and measure it out and cut it. Um, the only model that I ran into a problem was the CCM Cat 385CL. That model gave me hell when I cut the pin, or when I cut the piston rod. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know the whole thing together. The black and the silver piece together is called a cylinder. I know that for a fact, but I'm presuming this is called a piston, and I don't actually know what that's called. I'm guessing it's like the casing for the piston, and then all together it's called a cylinder. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're called, and that's what I call them, so whatever. But otherwise, I just wanted to throw that out there. So on the 385, the problem that I had was the way the cylinder, the piston rod here went into the casing was a lot fatter than was a lot. It's gonna look a little odd, but a lot fatter than the actual piston. And the next thing I'm gonna do is gonna look a little weird, but I'm trying to give you an example. So say this is the casing, the hole in the casing, and then basically, such as this. This is the piston rod, this is the casing. Well, there was about that much of a gap. Like, not literally, but that was what it kind of looked like from the outside. Because in the very back of the piston, it was a lot fatter than the rest of the piston. The very back piece was squared and fat, which I'm assuming was what allowed you to have a full range of movement, but also keep it in any position. The problem was, being it was on the end, that was the part I had to cut off to improve the range of movement on the bucket. I cut it off thinking, it'll still work. Put it back in. The piston just fell right out. It was that loose. So that was one thing that took me, I took hours on it trying to figure out how to get it. I put super glue on it trying to make it fit, how you stiffen cylinders. I did that. Couldn't get enough super glue on it. Now it doesn't look really pretty, but it does hold somewhat of a position. That model I love that model to death, but I had problems with the cylinders because I'm a person that likes to be able to move the cylinders, easily, but also keep them in any position I want to have them for stop motions. And what I end up doing is I'll end up trying to loosen them, and they end up falling down, But that's on a few models. But other than I'm not getting into that now. Maybe that'll be another video of how to make your cylinders stiffer or looser. I'll probably do another video of that. But otherwise, I just wanted to make this video to help you guys out. I did get quite a few comments on this on how I did it. And instead of explaining it in words, I figured I'd just make a video. It's a little easier to watch than having to read a paragraph or something like that. I didn't really want to type it. So I figured I'd make a video, and I know I would rather enjoy watching it than reading. Otherwise, I hope that helps anybody that had those questions. And any other questions, please ask me. Feel free to ask. And I'll try to explain it as easily as I possibly can. So otherwise, thanks a lot for watching. And again, check in for more videos and updates and stuff like that. I'll probably be doing a collection update pretty soon, within the next couple of weeks, a few weeks or so. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I appreciate it. Appreciate the views and everybody supporting. Thanks.